Good morning, Srini. Good morning, Tim. Can you hear me?
Hey, good morning.
Hi. I think we have quorum here. We could get started. Any opens today? Silence, I assume opens. I think a couple of items I had in the agenda today. It's any final minute, any updates needed or any changes needed from the global summit perspective from the team? If not, the only other agenda item I had today is to discuss, do we want to kind of pursue the security is another OPF work stream. If you recall, like we discussed about 4 different areas in the last few sessions. The only reason is if we want to pursue, then do we want to put something around the security work stream when we are presenting the work stream update or the project update? That's the only reason I was trying to see whether anything that we want to put something in now or we want to wait until our global summit is over. Again, the work streams are not like it's final. We are saying it's proposed work streams under consideration.
What would be the context of the security? Are you talking about securing the firmware, the protocols, everything? I mean, what do you mean by security? It's a broad topic.
Our work stream, the OPF work stream, anything that relates to the security areas, so we want to create work stream. For example, it can be starting from the source code, reviewing the source code and having guidelines for the source code, what need to be met, and updating the firmware. When you're doing a firmware update, then you need to deal with the securities. And also during runtime, like do we have any buffer overflow, run and other things, any guidelines that need to be developed, right? Yes, a generic, when we are contributing something to the OPF, do we have to meet certain guideline or something like that, right? Right now, I think we are kind of putting these 4 work streams under consideration. We are not set that this is finalized. My question is, do we want to put something on security and say that is also under consideration, or we want to leave it maybe after the global summit?
I guess I would vote for, I don't know what other security work streams there are under hardware management, but I generally would vote in favor of it. I know much, Sammy, I was talking to you the other day, or I messaged you the other day about, even BIOS to BMC communication, and the security there is now under scrutiny.
Right.
So that's just, it's a sub work stream of just general biosecurity, but I do think it's always important. I just don't know enough about what biosecurity topics are under discussion in the security work streams.
Yeah, I think what we need to define as part of the work stream is we need to expand that charter definition as part of it, right? I know there is a separate security project is going on, but still taking the view of the OPF and just focusing on OPF specific rather than the complete hardware portion and other things, right? Still, I think there is a value, right? Just purely focusing on BIOS and BMC or any other silicon firmware related items, right? And maybe you need to work with other work streams or projects to kind of give them some portion of it, and we need to take some portion of it from the platform firmware perspective. Any others? Any opinions?
I just say I agree with engaging with the security work stream just to understand what they're already covering, and then we can identify the gaps and where they would best get covered between this one or the security.
Alison, what do you say? Yeah.
I don't think there's any harm in putting it in here for now as a placeholder, but just again, agree that I don't want to duplicate
It needs a
efforts.
little homework before saying we're gonna actually kick it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So you can basically say under consideration security, or then kind of we need to work through the process of working with the security project as well as identifying what we exactly need to define, or if we want to go forward with the work stream, right? Anybody else? Any other comments? We did put some initial weighting for the other work streams, and we will try to add some additional weighting for this also. Again, I think trying to see like what the team prefers for establishing these work streams. Like, do you want to just project leads and ICs review this along with the OCP staff and make a final decision, or we want to have some additional process here to establish these work streams? Obviously, we do need to identify the leader. Without having a leader for work streams, we cannot make progress here, right?
Do we have leaders for any of them yet?
No, we have not. First of all, we have not finalized. This is final work streams that we're going to go. We want to wait until Global Summit before we can get additional feedback and then finalize the work stream. Yeah, then we really need to open up for either voting or takers or volunteers to kind of nominate. But really, like, we want to propose these things right now before finalizing it.
Very good.
Do you want to say just security, platform, firmware security, or what do you want to say?
Well, platform security has kind of a name already. I mean, it's PROD or whatever. I mean, I think we're trying to avoid that.
Firmware security.
I mean, I think if there's interest, then we'll, like we keep saying, we'll go study what's out there and figure out if there's any gaps that need to be included in this. If there's no gaps, then we shut it down.
Okay.
Sammy, as we go to get feedback on these, are we gonna write up, if it feels like we'd get better feedback with like a couple sentences or a paragraph for each one in terms of what it might be versus just the.
Yeah, I think we.
Sammy, you had those on. We showed showed those last week or whatever.
Oh, sorry, I missed the last time, so I didn't catch up on that one.
So only security wouldn't have one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have a write-up. That's why I was trying to see where I put it.
That's okay. If it exists, I can go catch up on
Yeah.
it and not make you guys repeat it. Thanks.
Yeah, I think for all the 4 we wrote up. I do need to look at my folders where this particular thing is sitting there. Yes. Yeah, I see it. Do you guys see it? Am I sharing or no?
Stop sharing.
So we have the write-up for each one. You can even add maybe just a quick session here, right? Let's add that. So. Security. Yeah, help me here. What are the things you want to add here?
Like I said, interaction between BIOS or between the firmware components. I don't know if the interaction's the right word, but
Yeah, we can fine tune it.
And then it sounded like also between like BIOS and BMC.
and even with if there's a PROT or interaction with whatever the silicon is CPLD, whatever, for the platform root of trust. Again, not so much discussing how PROTs work, because I'm sure that's
Yeah.
covered in another area, but just
Yeah.
is there communication between the BIOS and the PROT?
Right. And also, do we need to deal with any runtime components? What else? Firmware updates. Telemetry.
This is a section we might benefit from pulling an expert in for, because I know there are things in the runtime that we may want to cover here, or attestation before, like that's outside of the PROT, but I don't know any of that off the top of my head to add it here confidently.
Yeah, just I think runtime when you put it, then firmware update, attestation, or any measurement or any reporting, all those things should be part of it, right? Maybe you should say it, right?
Yeah, I would call it out as explicit as possible, because the whole point here is to get people
Right.
thinking.
Right. Attestation, what other words you want to use?
There are things like runtime firmware updates, like Ucode and other things that might be updatable outside of the BIOS firmware itself, or the system firmware itself.
Firmware updates. Attestation, any measurements or anything. Is there anything today to do with the afterlife or the shutdowns? I don't know.
Hey, Sammy.
Hi, Raj.
Hey, sorry about the late join.
It's okay. Yeah. Raj, we are just going through like given we are giving update on the work stream in general. I was thinking of the 4 work streams we were talking about it before. I added one more. I think with the discussions yesterday, added one more. The firmware security is another work stream for consideration. We are trying to kind of put some wordings around here so that what are the things you need to cover underneath, right?
Okay.
Do we want to look at ability to do firmware audits, or sorry, security audits?
Yeah, and in that space, you know, SBOM.
Yeah.
That you can put the SBOM in the firmware components, the brackets that you have: BIOS, PMC, IO devices, PROT, SBOM.
It's a good idea.
So
do we need it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we need some way to like not announce, but like distribute vulnerabilities that are found that need to be patched specific for this?
Won't they come in as CVs?
Likely. I don't know if that's something that like some of that might need to be patched before they become public announcements. I don't know how.
They become, okay. Sure. You can just put CVs.
CDs?
CV.
Charlie Victor Echo.
Charlie
Yeah,
Victor.
yeah.
Thank you.
CV is okay.
Sammy, also we need a kind of a tool or a framework like SCT where we have for UEFI, we need to have a framework to verify the security fixes or whether there's a vulnerability in the firmware or not, to verify the vulnerability and whether it has been patched up or not.
I think there's probably another word. Verify framework to. I'll put a. I will come up with the word.
Where would the IFV architecture framework, a common IFV architecture framework, fit in? This is
It's just not if we write Raj, so you want to cover the whole platform security in general.
Correct. Yeah, I just say
Right.
SCT is just to give an example. Just like that,
Right.
we need to have a framework independent of firmware implementation. It could be core boot, U-boot, or UEFI, doesn't matter. So we should be able to run it and then find out whether the particular vulnerability as present or not, whether it has been patched or not, something like that. Yeah.
And also is it include the BMC and other things, right? Because we are talking about a platform firmware.
Yeah.
Right.
The verification you're talking about at the source level or during runtime?
No, it is all runtime. Yeah, we're talking about runtime.
Okay.
Yes, runtime. Not on the source.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot
patching
more.
Is not. Yeah, we don't want it. I mean, if you say patching, that means it may be on the source level, but we are not looking for source level verification. It is on the running platform whether the particular fix has been done, right?
Verify firmware updates. I just say it.
You should say verify remediation. The binary.
Yeah, verify
Remediation.
firmware updates, and then also
security. No, it is not updates. It is not security update. It is the framework to verify firmware
remediation.
Yeah, security remediation. Yeah.
Security remediation.
Is it just security remediation is good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. So patch goes with source and remediation generally goes with the binary.
How about static analysis, static code analysis like CertC and whatnot?
So that's what I was saying, open firmware. So underneath you can have a lot of things underneath, right? What do you want to say?
CertC, CERT-C static code analysis.
And also, is there any other things that I'm sure there's a lot more additional things underneath also there, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'm thinking that this entire firmware security probably might fall under safe.
Yeah, that's fine. If finally they sign up for taking everything, that's fine too, right? That's what we need to have a discussion with the security team and say like, these are the things needed, and are they covering everything, or are they leaving something to like
right?
Let the platform firmware team to go and work on it and come back, right?
Now we also added chiplets as well, right? Above somewhere.
Yeah.
Got it.
So we have chiplets. That is a first one here, and each one I believe has the security and other things part of it. But this umbrella, what we are saying is it's a overarching umbrella. Then it can create a generic one, and you can give that guidelines to the each work streams to follow it, right? Rather than each guy is trying to define the security on their own, they can basically extend that attributes, right?
Right. So when you're saying that you mean to say that it should be, at least the interfaces must be common, right? Like a common interface framework.
Yeah, security framework that generally that the OPF should follow, and each work stream can extend it rather than trying to define their own for a individual components, right?
Yeah. Okay.
At least I think we want to see some guidelines document written, right? I think that's probably the initial thing you want to really like say, like these are the things need to be done. If you're contributing some firmware, hey, can you go through the static analysis and you're done with it, right?
Right.
And if you're proposing some firmware update on the previous one, right? Hey, what are the different security attributes that we should be satisfy in order to do a firmware updates, right? Something like that, right?
Right.
So I think also before you joined, Raj, I think we are kind of trying to see like what is the process we want to take it to finalize these things, right?
I think don't we need to take it through the incubation committee?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we have this documented here. We can take it to IC Don V, and the leads need sync up, and we also need to work with the OPF staff to make sure that they on board with creating these work streams, right? They might have some suggestions based on other things they're kind of hearing from other projects, right?
Right. That is true. And
Right.
you know, given the resource constraints, we need to prioritize this and start working on the most important ones.
Right. And that is one. Number two is how do you want to go on for the lead selection, right? We can announce to the team here and say like, if you are willing to propose a lead from your companies, give us names and we can go through that, right? We can collect that process.
Yeah.
And if we see more than one, then we have to go through some voting mechanism or additional discussion to finalize who's going to be the lead, right?
Yep. Agree.
So I think what I'm kind of thinking is after this global summit, I think the global summit we are trying to say like these 5 work streams under consideration. And after the global summit, based on additional feedback that we are getting, then we should take that and make a finalization on which out of 5, what is the priority, right? And that will probably come under who's going to be signing up to kind of lead and get those things done, right? So we need to finalize it immediately after the global summit and probably like decide to announce it before maybe November or by November at least. Any other thoughts? If not, I think I shared this. If we don't have access, I will provide the access back to the team here. Any other?
Yeah, do you mind just putting that, Sammy, in the chat, like the link to it?
I'll put it right now. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a good idea. Yeah. Get that before I forget. This document also should be in OCP project area. If you don't have access, yeah, just a request for access and you'll get it. Any other final comments, thoughts before we can close today? One more thing I would like to add. probably some of you know, I had an ankle fracture. I'm probably not able to travel to OCP. Still, I'm waiting for my doctor's advice later today. If I'm not able to travel, we are already kind of discussed about coverage for the panels as well as the presentations. Panels will be handled by Don B. And the presentation Neil Sette is going to handle for the workstream updates. And Neil as well as Don B together. Go ahead, Srini, you have some more questions.
Sorry to hear that, Sammy. Get better soon.
Yeah. It was unfortunate. It happened. I have to deal with it now. It's like some 3 broken phones.
Yikes, yeah. Hope you
Yeah.
get better soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Srini, you have raised hand. Any questions?
Hi, Sam. Hi, everyone.
Oh, Saravani. Okay.
Yeah, this is Shravani.
Saravani. Okay.
Yeah, actually, this is my first OPF meeting that I'm joining. So I just have one question regarding the OPF workflow. So after these work streams are finalized, how do we access the hardware while working on these work streams?
So the hardware itself is not like specifically announced and we should be working on that hardware. It's all based on a generic architecture and the guidelines that we are creating. And it's individually each companies kind of plan to kind of contribute and implement based on the specification or document or guidelines that we are creating. I know there are some hardwares available for OCP validation, things like that, but I am not familiar with the complete process of hardware availability. If anybody else know here in this work streams.
So you mentioned some hardware is available for the OCP community. You mean we can access it remotely if needed?
Yeah, there was one I remember, like recall HP hosted a platform. You can build a firmware and you can access it. There is also some hardwares available for a part of the validation work stream, the basically compatibility test suite work stream. They have hardwares available for them to develop the code and test it out. But I don't have the complete detail of exactly the things available. We could probably like ping back and probably share this those details with this community here. Probably I'll take an
Sure.
IR and look into that info. Yes.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. And my next question is, so you mentioned about the companies participating in this workflow, right? So as of now, I'm an individual contributor. Do you mean that we need to register our companies to continue with this workflow?
There's a multiple different, like OCP is kind of open, so people from companies and individuals can participate. But as part of your companies, right, it has like different memberships, and there is platinum, silver, and gold, and different membership comes with its additional kind of responsibilities as well as contributions to those membership levels, right? So I can send you the link so you can go through the different contribution level. What are the things you're getting it as part of that contribution, right?
Okay. Okay, sir. That's all the questions I had. Thank you so much.
Good, thank you. Okay, thank you, team. We can give you 25 minutes back. Unless if you have anybody else, any other comments, please go ahead. Otherwise, have a good global summit, and we'll see you probably week after next.
Yeah, it'll be nice to meet some of y'all in person.
Thank you, Sammy. Bye.
Thanks,
Good,
thanks,
thanks.
Sammy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take care of your
Bye.
legs, Sammy.
good. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.